So viewer discretion is advised on this video, okay? This video is from this woman who has like 30 years of being a crime reporter. And so she knows the ways that people try to manipulate children, and she gives her best practices on how to keep your kids safe. And even though it is hard to listen to at some points, I think it's definitely worth a watch.
Hi everybody, Lori Fulbright here. You've heard me talk over the years about why I am not a fan of stranger danger. So a lot of people say, well, Lori, what do we say to our kids instead? Because you want to teach them about people who might harm them. And of course, the reasons I'm not for stranger danger, as you know, is one, it's not going to be a stranger who hurts your kid. Unfortunately, it's going to be someone they know. Stats show that out. And two, in my experience with the stories I've done and the experiments, kids just don't get what a stranger is because these pedophiles, these predators are very charming and engaging. So I think it's one of the things that you can do is, as I've talked about before, is what if situations. What if someone wants to touch you where your swimsuit covers? What if someone starts touching you under a blanket when we're having family movie night? What if someone wants to send you a picture or wants a picture of part of your privates? You know, those kinds of what if scenarios as kids get older. But I also think you can talk to kids about people who are tricky. So if a stranger opens a door for them, you don't want them to go, it's a stranger, right? You want them to say, thank you, that's kind, that's polite. But people who are tricky, that's different. So you have that kindly neighbor who the kids go over there and he brings food over to you, and all of a sudden he has a candy bowl, say, by the front door, and when you're there with your child, one piece. But when the child is there alone, this kindly neighbor says, look, you can have as many pieces of candy as you want as long as you keep it a secret. We can't tell your mom and dad because they won't like that. That's a secret, and that makes that person now tricky. Or say that grandpa who has some newborn kittens or puppies, and they're like, oh, do you want to touch them and pet them and hold them? You have to sit on my lap to do that. And kids can understand tricky because kids know tricky situations. If you're playing a game, that's a tricky moment, they know they have to think that through. And normally how they can define tricky is when it's in their stomach, right? Something about it makes their stomach feel funny. So first we teach them we don't keep secrets. Second, if a person starts feeling tricky, you have to tell mom and dad. It's perfectly okay to say, hey, he said I could have as much candy as I want as long as I don't tell you. Or he said I have to sit on his lap if I want to hold the new kittens, and it didn't feel right in my tummy. So I think it's important to talk to kids about tricky people and tricky situations as opposed to strangers. And I'm always a big fan of what if situations. What if dad's best friend wants you to kiss his boo-boo here and then his boo-boo here, right? We see those types of things in affidavits all the time in these cases. So no stranger danger situations and tricky people and tricky situations, I believe, will make your kids safer. Be safe out there.